Hi everyone, my name is Rhys, and today I'll be presenting Nocturne, the next generation open source CGM remote monitor from the Night Scout Foundation. Before I get into it, I'd like to acknowledge that I join you today from Nocturne, the land of the Palawa Aboriginal people, whose sovereignty was never ceded. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. A little bit about me. I am a software engineer based in Tasmania, Australia, where I live with my wife and our soon-to-be-born son. At the time that you will be viewing this, he'll be about 2 weeks old. I'm also a newcomer to diabetes. I was diagnosed in November of 2024 with type 1, and it was about 5 weeks before my honeymoon. Like any software engineer, the first thing that I did was try to code a solution. That's how I ended up getting involved with Night Scout. For a little bit of context, Night Scout launched over a decade ago, and it changed everything. It gave parents the ability to see their child's glucose in real time from anywhere. It gave DIY closed-loop systems like Loop and Android APS the data layer that they needed to go further than any commercial system had gone. It was, and still is for a lot of people, critical health infrastructure. Unfortunately, the codebase hasn't aged well. Bug reports pile up faster than they get fixed, the interface hasn't meaningfully changed in years, and developers building on top of it find that it's more of a hindrance than a help. And the obvious question is, okay, well, why not just fix Night Scout? Why build something new? And it's a fair question. The honest answer is that the changes needed aren't just surface level. Night Scout needs changes that are so fundamental that patching it isn't a viable option for developers. This isn't a bathroom renovation situation, it's a knocking down the whole house down and starting from absolute scratch sort of situation. And you can't really do that to software that people depend on every day without at least giving them somewhere better to move to. Introducing Nocturne, next generation unified platform for all your diabetes data. Let's go through what that actually means. Nocturne pulls data from wherever yours lives. We have first-party connectors for Dexcom, Libre, Gluco, Tidepool, MyLife, Eversense, and more. We also cater to pump or MDI, type 1 or type 2. Nocturne is built to work with your setup, not dictate it. And the best news is, the keys to your old house that got knocked down, they still work. I've re-implemented the entire Night Scout API. So every application in the ecosystem, Xstrip, Loop, Android APS, Trio, they all just connect. No changes needed on their end, they don't need to bother. They don't even know that they're talking to Nocturne. Nocturne uses modern passkey and OAuth authentication, so you don't have to choose between keeping your instance private and making it accessible to the people who need it. There's no passwords, no API keys that you need to share, and it's multi-tenant by default. If you have multiple loved ones in your family with diabetes, or if you're a clinic managing dozens, you can manage them all in the one place. We're planning on partnering with healthcare providers to integrate Nocturne directly into clinical workflows. And of course, we are maintaining the pledge that Night Scout started. It's open source, self-hostable, and your data stays yours on your own servers. You maintain full agency over your data. But enough talking about what Nocturne can do. Let me actually show you. This is the Nocturne dashboard. Right here, you can see my current glucose, and here is over the past couple of hours. The chart is fully interactive, and you can click on them and see the details, including where the data came from. I could even add food if I wanted to add a little bit more detail to this. Let's say that I have an endo appointment. Maybe my usual endo is on holiday and I have to have one with somebody temporarily. It'd be a bit weird to ask them to create an account for just a half-hour consult. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a guest link. And this guest link will work. You just punch in the code, click, and bada bing, bada boom, accessing the data. And they can see all of the reports needed. This link is single use and expires automatically in 48 hours, and you can revoke it before then if need be. Nocturne has over 20 reports, but I'm just going to show you a couple today. For example, let's have a look first at the calendar. The calendar shows either a glucose chart or time and range bars for the whole month. You can click on any of these to drill down into them. And then you can see the mean, median, standard deviation, all of those fun statistics. This is the insulin dosing profile, a standard developed by the iCode2 working group, which gives clinicians a standardized way to review insulin therapy. We've got the total daily dose, glucose metrics, and the glycemic risk index, and also everyone's favorite AGP. Here we've got the glucose distribution report, which shows which buckets glucose falls into each day. We can see that I've got a little bit of a peak over here around lunchtime. Here we've got an actogram for heart rate. And here we have the comparison chart. Impending fatherhood has been a little bit stressful, and my control has obviously suffered for it. Here we can actually see that the glycemic risk index has increased rather meaningfully. All of these reports are screen and media responsive. They look great on mobile and also on paper, so you can print them out and take them with you if you don't trust that your internet connection is going to work. So while we're looking at my data, this endo and let's say that we decide that I am getting a bit high around lunchtime. So this is where it gets interesting. Nocturne has an if this then that alert system. Rather than prescribing what alerts I should care about, it gives me the building blocks to construct my own. So right there in the office, my endo and I build a rule together. If it's between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and I'm above 180 for, let's say, 30 minutes, and I have less than 1 unit of insulin on board, then we can have it send a message to my Discord. Maybe also in-app. Great. We can combine conditions from glucose, time of day, IOB, cannula age, sensor age, loop, whatever is clinically relevant, we've got it. And we can add these in and or groups, and we can also reference other alert rules states. But the best part is, I can run this rule against historic data, any previous day, retrospectively, in order to see whether it's actually going to fire. And so we can see that today I haven't had any, which is nice. Oh, yes, no, I did. There we go. And then let's have a look. Great. So my endo is happy with this, and then the rest of the appointment goes well. And so then I'm just going to go into the members again and then revoke that, just as good data hygiene. Nocturne is open source, self-hostable, and available as an open alpha today at getnocturne.dev. Whether you're a developer who wants to contribute, a clinician who wants to integrate it into your practice, or someone with diabetes who just wants a better window into their data, we would love to have you. Thank you.